Yo, what's going on YouTube? Appreciate you guys tuning into another one of Team Core's videos. On today's video though, we are going to be going over my first opinions / first look of Ghostface. You know, he just came out, I believe, yesterday. So this video is just me going over some of best buttons, his game plan, his strategies, and you know, maybe a few B&Bs, kind of giving you like a quick debrief of what the character offers and what I see him doing overall, what his whole game plan is. And but we're not gonna dive too much into cameos because it can get really complicated when we get to that point, because the character's still new, so we can't just, I usually typically like to make guides when the character has some time to be fleshed out a bit, but this is just a first look. All right, on the screen we got some highlighted moves. The moves that I've highlighted are some of the moves that I find it's very important to know to use these moves and cycle them and use them wisely. First one being 1 2 3, which is just square triangle X. 1 2 3 is a really good move. There's a gap between the second and third hit, which is kind of unfortunate, but fortunately you can just stop the string at the first 2 hits, and it's a really good stagger. It's -2 on block. This whole string is neutral on block, which is really good for the frame data. And the last hit's a low, so that last hit being a low is pretty important because a lot of people tend to get hit by that, or they get auto shimmied by it trying to tech a throw or something like that. But 1 2 3 is just a really good button. It's going to be your stand 1 is going to be your fastest starter to punish most things with, as long as they're like point blank in your face. But this is your fastest punisher, and then like on hit, at least with Movado. I know I can't speak for every cameo because it's only been 2 days, but at least for Movado, he can actually make the string full combo on hit, and it just only comes out on hit and not on block. And that's like kind of what a normal combo looks like. He's a character that likes to blender. His whole game plan is essentially just trying to get in and then trying to put you into a 50-50 vortex and loop you in that vortex until you eventually guess right. But even then, he's safe when you guess right most of the time. You got this other string, 2 2 grab. It's important because it's one of his main strings for combo extension. You got 4 2 1 2. That first hit is 18 frames, but in 18 frames for a mid is technically, by most people's opinion, slow, but I mean it goes super far, and it's a mid, so it's a gapless mid. I'm not positive it's gapless. I would have to have the CPU armor. Let me see. All right, let me see. All right, there's a gap between the second and third hit, so but it's still, nonetheless, still a good mid. So it's definitely worth pointing out because it's one of his best advancing mids. Other than that, he doesn't have a whole bunch. You got back 3-4. That move is -7 on block and has a little bit of pushback, so most characters aren't going to punish it. And the second hit's a low, and a lot of people tend to get clipped by that low, so it's a pretty good string to try to open somebody up with if you just want to throw it out from a distance and clip somebody low and hope, and just to see if they're even blocking low. Down 4 and down 3 I also thought were pretty important to mention because they're some of his best pokes. They go pretty far. They're disjointed because he's using his knife, and they're just his best buttons, but his down 1 is horrible, so that's why I didn't consider this one of his best buttons. It's his fastest poke, yes, but it's really stubby, and sometimes you struggle to counter poke punish people when they're trying to down 1 you, and you just can't poke back because it doesn't reach. But yeah, 1 2 3, 2 2 grab. 2 2 grab is something I would just throw it on block though, but it's safe apparently. But all these strings are really good, and you should definitely like try to find a way to sneak a lot of these strings in within your pressure and within neutral, because if you're just playing super linear, you're not gonna really open anybody up with this character. His movement's kind of not the greatest. I would say that's one of his weaknesses, is his movement's kind of lackluster. But he makes up for it when he gets the hit and he gets going. But some of his important special moves, his command grab, and this character is also a stance character, man. He has like 3 different stances if you didn't know already, and you enter them by holding. There's certain special moves that allow you to change into those stances, and you just either hold L1 to enter one stance or L2 to enter a different stance. Like off the grab, you can hold L1 and you'll enter, I forgot what this stance is called. What's it called? The enforcer stance. So he has 3 stances. He has the normal Billy Loomis stance, and then he has the enforcer stance, and then he has the assassin stance. And the assassin stance is, in my opinion, what I would say, it gives him a projectile, and it gives him, all 3 different stances give him different moves. It gives him different strings, it gives him different moves. But we'll dive into what I find that's the most important up front. But as far as special moves, he has a command grab. It's pretty important because this is going to be one of the best ways that you open somebody up that has pretty good defense when it comes to blocking certain things. Oh, another thing that I forgot to mention actually is his back two. His back two is overhead. It's 20 frames. Nobody's reacted to 20 frames. If anybody tells you they react to 20 frames, they're lying to you. So he has a 20 frame overhead that's full combo. It's a full combo starter and it's safe. So if you have a bar, you can actually just overhead somebody safely. And then you got sweep, which is a great button because especially with Movado, because Movado actually it allows a full combo to come from the sweep. Other than that, he doesn't actually have a low starter like that. So that's why I like Movado personally, but it's also just the cameo everybody's been using. So it's easy to try to study it because that's what everybody's using. There's other popular cameos like Sector is pretty good with them, but it's not. There's the most footage on the internet right now is with Movado. So, but yeah, as far as that, the overhead's really important. You want to know that, and the sweep. But yeah, as far as moves, we got command grab. With Movado, you can actually combo the command grab, which is pretty important because that makes that command grab just that much scarier, right? You know, getting hit for 25% into a plus 14 restand into another 50-50 this is his game plan. I don't know if you guys are seeing the vision here, but every hit, as long as you have the resources to do so, can put them into a restand position to where they have to guess again. Yeah, so you got Psychotic Rush, which is this little run move that he does, and he just charges at you. If you don't do anything, he just literally runs at you and stops. If you press X, he stops. He basically cancels the run. And then if you press 1, he does this mid attack that's full combo punishable. He can do triangle or 2 out of it, which is an overhead, and he can do 4 out of it, which is a mid, and it puts him in a cross stance. And then he can also cancel into command grab from the run. And that's one of the strongest things about this character is the fact that from any button he can do this. He can just special cancel into this little run and tick throw essentially off of it and get a full combo at certain cameos. You know, you can do freaking, you know, literally anything. 1, 2, into run, command grab, full combo. You can do freaking, you can just literally run out of nowhere and do it, you know. It doesn't have to always be off of anything. You can do off the overhead. With Movado, it's a little expensive because you gotta spend the whole cameo meter to even get that conversion, but you know, some characters probably cameos can convert it for less resources. I say Psychotic Dive is pretty important, literally just because it's his only wake up attack. And then Psychotic Enhanced Backstage Pass is basically his way to extend combos and for a bar meter. It's this down back move, and if you hold it, this character has a lot of depth, man. I'm not gonna lie, like this is a character that would really take more time than a day or two to really discover and flesh out and talk about, but this is just real the basic stuff right here. Like off of any string you can cancel into Enhanced Backstage Pass and basically get a full combo. Just kind of showing you what a combo looks like. But yeah, he can do stuff like that off of Enhanced Backstage Pass. He can, if he holds L1 or L2, he puts himself into a different stance, which you can visually see he's in a different stance when his knife is a different color. This is assassin stance because his knife is red. You hold L1, he goes into Enforcer. His knife is like bluish, greenish, or purplish. Those stances are important because they give you different properties. Like out of assassin stance, his back two turns into this 18. It went from originally a 20 frame overhead to a multi-hitting 18 frame overhead. So, and that's just because he's in the assassin stance now, which you enter from holding L2 after you EX this move. And to further combo extend, you just gotta buffer the string that you want to do the moment that second slice happens, and then the whole string will come out and you'll get this. But essentially, I'll give you guys a basic BMB, man. These are some of the, like I told you, those are some of the best strings he has, some of the best buttons he has. These are some of the more important special moves. The command grab, backstage pass, psychotic rush, or psychotic dive is his wake up attack. And psychotic rush basically gives you the ability to just freaking tick throw out of nowhere off anything. I'll give you a BMB. His BMBs don't get too crazy at the moment because it's just day 2. But from what I've noticed, they all kind of consist of this similar route, and it stays pretty consistent. So like, I'm just gonna give you an examples with the team I play. So Movado, I'll do something like this: 1 2 3, call Movado, 2 2 grab, jump, 2 2, and then I'll back 3 to restand them, and then they're plus 14 on hit. So after that means, since you're plus 14 on hit, that means they gotta hold basically whatever mix-up you go for after. The only thing they could probably do is armor. So usually after I do that plus 14 restand, I'll go for the overhead. You know, I'll go for the grab. You know, I'll go for the low into Movado. So it's a three-way mix-up after they block, or they don't. It's a three-way mix-up at the end of every combo. So, boom, go for your combo. 1 2 3, Movado, 2 2 grab, jump 2 2, back 3, overhead. You know, you see the vision. Restand, you know, and then I'll give you like just a different mix up. I'll go for the low option after this. I'm gonna do the whole same exact BNB, 2 2, back 3, 2 2, and I'm gonna do sweep, full combo, and you basically just put them into this vortex where they just gotta guess over and over again. You know what I'm saying? This sweep really isn't that much of a threat unless I have a Movado, but yeah, man, he's just a mix-up character. I would say if anytime I land like a poke on hit, I'm just gonna go straight into overhead, into enhanced backstage pass, or I'm gonna do freaking sweep into Movado, which is a low, or I'm gonna do command grab into full combo. And then this freaking, even from the command grab, you get put into the same messed up situation. The character can get pretty crazy, man. But I would say just practice those combos, man. Like you get the same combo. This is like even cameo-less. You get the same combo off anything. Like this is really just what his basic BNB looks like. Something into launch, jump 2 2, back 3 restand, overhead, low, or grab. That's pretty much the three-way mix-up. How you implement that mix-up kind of just depends on your cameo. Not every cameo is going to give you this. I like that option because it makes the mix a little more layered. But his overhead is base. You know, this grab is base. What cameos combo into this? I'm not sure besides Movado at the moment. But this character is good, man. My overall consensus on the character is that I think this character is strong. You know, his only downside is some of his downsides is his movement's kind of and his he doesn't have like a strong zoning presence unless he's in an assassin stance. But once he gets that hit, it all can turn in the blink of an eye. He can just win the round when he was just down and out because he's a vortex character. At the end of the day, he's a mix-up character, and I think they did a good job with this character, man. And me personally, I think they did a great job. I thought he was gonna be boring. I didn't know how they were gonna make this character look or do more than just like stab people. You know, but they actually found a way to make him kind of interesting, and he has 3 different stances, and he actually kind of technical. He's actually kind of technical. But yeah, guys, hopefully that this it's not really a tutorial, more so like first impressions and, you know, quick tips. But yeah, I hope you guys find that this was somewhat helpful. Obviously, there's probably people out there that got more of a more in-depth tutorial out, but I feel like whenever I feel like my Ghostface is super seasoned and we have way more time with this character, one day possibly a more in-depth guide will come out. But all right, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys have a blessed afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you guys are from, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.